Poised for Success. And today I'd like to talk to you a little bit about building something I call mat love. Now, before I get into this, I want to give credit first off to Leslie McDevitt, the author of Control Unleashed, because it was through Control Unleashed that I first came upon the concept of using a mat to build both focus and relaxation, and sometimes even the ability to think while excited in a dog. In addition to reading the book, I've had the pleasure of meeting Leslie a couple of times and working with her one-on-one with my first freestyle dog, Speedy, who used to get overstimulated when he did freestyle, and the mat was actually part of what we used to help him learn to control his stimulation levels. But the mat has many, many applications, both in dog training in general and in canine musical freestyle. Now today, I'm not going to get into those applications. I'm just going to talk to you about how I build what I call mat love. Building mat love is basically turning the mat into a magnet, so that if it is presented to your dog will choose to go to it, even if not told to do so. Now, yes, of course, you can create a mat cue, but the very first thing that I do when I'm going to work with a mat is build what I call mat love. And to do this, I associate the mat with many, 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 many treats. My first step with just about every dog when I go to create mat love is to do what I would essentially call loading the mat. Much like loading the clicker. When you load the clicker, you click, give your dog a treat. Click, give your dog a treat. And your dog learns pretty quickly that when they hear the click, a treat will appear. When loading the mat, I teach the dog that having paws on the mat, or perhaps even sitting or lying down on the mat, will cause treats to appear on the mat. So for my first step in building mat love, I'm going to have treats. Now, it's really, really, really important that you use treats that your dog actually wants in the context where you are presenting them. I like to use chicken or something of that nature. But even if you're using commercially prepared treats, be sure that it's something your dog actually wants. If your dog is sort of sniffing at the treat, thinking about it for a second, and then picking it up, you want something of higher value. If your dog is taking it readily, you're in good shape. So for the first step, I am sitting on the floor with the mat in front of me. And without saying anything, I'm going to drop all words for the time being. I use the treats to lure my dog onto the mat. Now, with a dog who will readily lure into a down, I will lure a down. But if I'm working with a dog whose comfort level is only there if they're standing, I will start with this with the dog standing on the mat. And what I do is lure the dog onto the mat, and then I put treat, treat, treat right on the mat. So the dog actually needs to eat the treats off of the mat. Then I get a little bit tricky. With treats still in my hand, I lure my dog off of the mat. However, I don't give my dog any of those treats. So my dog will follow the treats off the mat, but won't get any of those treats. And I'll immediately lure my dog back onto the mat, treat, treat, treat. So the association my dog will start to make is when I'm on the mat, the treats appear on the mat. When I'm off the mat, no treats are appearing. I'll repeat that until I can lure my dog off the mat, put my hands behind my back, and with me not saying anything, my dog will automatically move back to the mat. And that is when you have the beginning of mat love. So this is how I do mat love step one. I'm going to lure him onto the mat. Treat, treat, treat. Okay. No treat. Back to the mat we go. Treat, treat, treat. Okay. Back to the mat we go. Treat, treat, treat. With a dog who's comfortable doing so, I might lure a down from the get-go. There we go. Good boy. Notice how I didn't tell him to lie down. I let him offer it. I just held my hand steady. If that would frustrate your dog, don't do it. Start just with paws on the mat. But if it would not frustrate your dog, you can go ahead and do that. Okay. Yes, good boy. 1, 2, 3. Good job, buddy. Okay. Yes. Now, I do that until I get this. Okay. Nice job, good. Some dogs will do that very quickly. Others, it'll take a little bit longer. Another way that I might do this is, again, sit on the floor with the mat in front of me, and this time I have treats and a clicker. And I'll toss a treat directly away from me, so my dog will run away from me to go get the treat. My dog, knowing that I have treats, is going to come back to me, and as close as I can to the moment when my dog's paws are about to go onto the mat, I click and put a treat on the mat at a point where the dog will need to come all the way onto the mat to get the treat. Now again, with a dog who will readily lure into a down, I might use the treat to lure the down. But with a dog who is not comfortable with that and who would balk and it would kind of turn into a fight, I will allow the dog to stand. I'll build in the down later. Often, when the dog realizes that he or she needs to put in the effort to kind of put their nose forward to get the treat, they'll start to offer the down on the mat. For Mat Love Step 2, I use a clicker. Now, you're going to be tossing treats, so I recommend having something that's good for tossing. I'm using kibble for tossing and chicken for reinforcing on the mat. I'm going to click before he hits the mat, or as close as I can. Good. Good boy. Okay. Yes, good. Okay. Now with a dog who's comfortable, I might lure the down. Okay. Yes, good boy. Good. Okay. Yes, good. And I'm going to do this until I get this. Okay. Yes, good job, nice. I'll gradually change my body position, kneeling, sitting in a chair, eventually standing, until my dog will come and offer the down on the mat, even when I'm standing. And I will actually usually use both of these games with most dogs. I usually start with step 1 and then progress to step 2, although you can start with step 2 if that's your preference. Once I have worked on those 2 steps with my dogs, I do a mat test. I take the mat, show my dog that I have it, toss it on the ground, and see if my dog chooses to go to it. So the question is, do we have mat love? Let's see. We have mat love. If my dog ignores it, I need to work on the mat love stage a little bit longer. If my dog goes right to it, then I know we have mat love going, and I can go on to working on other mat skills. Skills such as sending to the mat, duration on the mat, relaxing on the mat, or remaining on the mat while I'm doing something different. Now, one application of the mat that I will be incorporating into one of my videos very soon is using the mat in the context of training designed to help a dog control their stimulation levels while performing canine musical freestyle. So that'll be coming soon. And if you're interested in that, be sure to build your mat love. Do you have questions about building mat love or any other comments or questions on this video? Be sure to leave your comments below. Or join the Poised for Success Freestyle Facebook group, which I've linked in the description of this video below. I've also included information about the book Control Unleashed in the description below. If you've never read it, I highly recommend it.